Tonight I'm gonna do something I've wanted to do since I was a little kid. Sleep in a highway off-ramp. While I'm older now, I have a van that I live in. It'll be more like glamping. This is a specific spot. It's in a mountain pass in Western Mass. There's a river nearby. I think the sound of that and the traffic circling me all night long will be the most beautiful white noise. Only thing I'm worried about is it's the junction of two major state highways, and a state trooper might give me a knock in the middle of the night. This is sort of the nether region in the middle of the cloverleaf that I'm thinking about, you know what I mean? It's near a beautiful town called Shelburne Falls. There's a bridge of flowers there. There's a stretch of trolley, about 300 feet of track that still runs, the only trolley left in Western Mass. I thought I'd go stop and I'll show you guys where I'm thinking of sleeping, and then we'll go investigate Shelburne Falls. We still had some leaves on the trees around here in the Berkshires up until Tuesday of this week, 5 days ago, and then we got our first snowstorm. Now all the trees are barren. There's still actually some patches of snow on the higher elevations on the side of the road up here. Kind of depressing, you know. I like November. Like I said, it has a chill vibe to it, but seeing all the foliage gone, I just know I won't be seeing it again for 6 or 7 months. Winters last a long time here in New England. This is a beautiful part of Mass in any season, where the Berkshires enter the Pioneer Valley, the Connecticut River watershed. Anyways, Cloverleaf I'm thinking about is right up ahead. So this right here is the interchange I'm thinking of sleeping at. Now I have to be fast because right in the middle of this off-ramp, off to the right here, I'll let this cop go by. Yeah, that was odd. I let him go by, but there's this little parking area right here. Well, now a state trooper saw me pulling into this place. I've made my life a little more complicated. But this is in the middle of this rotary right here. It's actually a pretty spot. I've never seen any trucks here except like highway department stuff, staging for road work. I'll get outside, I'll give you guys a little tour. Yeah, this is actually a beautiful spot. As far as parks go, I don't think it has a name or anything. Like I said, I've only seen it used for a staging area for highway equipment. I've never seen anyone just casually camping out here. This would be a lot better to stealth camp in when all the trees have leaves and stuff. But I'm gonna rough it tonight. I'll show you, it's actually quite pretty here. Looks like there's a little encampment up here. So this on-ramp goes all the way around me to where I just was. Beautiful little spot. There is some garbage here, unfortunately. Looks like a latex glove, a beer can, someone's underwear, and a whole bunch of nips. Yeah, someone had a good time here. I hope they don't think I left that here if I do get ratted out tonight. I'm gonna go up here. Looks like there's a little fireplace thing. Yeah, what the heck is this? I see some ash and stuff. Does someone actually have a fire here? I guess I won't be the first person to camp here, but see how the road just wraps a 360 around the van? I love the sound of street noise at night. It sounds like ocean waves to me. And there's actually a river right over here. You can kind of see it from here, the Deerfield River. This interchange gets traffic all night long. This road right here, Route 2, is kind of like the Mass Pike. It's almost like a interstate highway. It's like the Mass Pike of the North. Busy all night long. I know I've driven it all night long. So I wonder how things will turn out. I really don't want to get a knock in the night. Right now, I'm going to head down the road a little further. Get to Shelburne Falls. I got to show you this town. It's just a geological gem in Massachusetts. This is it, the beautiful village of Shelburne Falls, Massachusetts. Arguably the prettiest town in Mass. In terms of like topography, you have the Deerfield River right here. Right there, the bridge of flowers. I want to check that out later, but first I want to park. It can be a bit of a dilemma in here. It's kind of a dense mountain town. I think the Trolley Museum is closed for the season, but hopefully they still let me park. Check that out. How cool is that? Believe it or not, Mass used to have a network of trolley lines that traversed the entire state. There was a branch that diverted from the Boston line right here, Went through this town, Shelburne Falls, up north to Coleraine, and then to the Vermont border. All of those trolley lines have been removed in the state now, except for the neighborhoods of Boston and a 600-foot stretch right here. You can jump on it for $5 in the summer. Only has one stop, that restaurant, about, like I said, 600 feet up that way. Still very fun to ride one of these old trolleys. When this operated, it must have been amazing, winding through this beautiful valley right here. The museum won't open until Memorial Day. I'll have to come back for that. But right now you can walk around the grounds, see some of the cool old cars. Now this model I recognize right away. They have an old one in the Boylston Station in Boston. This is a car built in 1951 by the Pullman Standard Company. Yeah, I recognize this. I have ridden this model. They still operate it in the Mattapan in the Orange Line. They also use this place as a graveyard for old trains. They just bring them on the main tracks here, which is still operating, offload the freight here, and just put it on these rails that are still here. There's maybe a half dozen, or maybe 7 or 8 old cars scattered around here. There's some cool stuff inside the museum. I wish it was open. Now I think I'm gonna walk down into the village below. I'm just parking behind that restaurant. I think I'll be fine there for a few hours. But I'm gonna go down this ramp here. The trolley that operated here also went down this ramp. They had a cog type thing to bring it down and up. But the beautiful part of this town is down below. There is a nice village down there and an old trolley bridge. This old trolley bridge up here, they never tore it down. They stopped running trolleys over it. They repurposed it. It's called the Bridge of Flowers. Beautiful gardens that they have all the way up until the end of October. It's out of season now. I hope we can still walk across it. I've taken beautiful photos of this thing. In terms of like scenery in Massachusetts, just a picture perfect postcard type village. This is it, Shelburne Falls. This restaurant I've yet to actually go to. It's been on my to-do list for a while. Looks like they're still running for the season. They have their own caboose. I bet you can rent a table or something in there. I'd love to check that out, but my first destination is that beautiful bridge right there. I love this view, the bend in the river here. It's even more enchanting with all the leaves off the trees. But if you notice behind me at the top of that hill, there's a house. Yeah, I know a lot of celebrities have palatial estates here in Shelburne Falls, including one whose name rhymes with Nil Bosby. I don't want to say his name and get the YouTube algorithm kiss of death. But he has a house here. It's just gorgeous. It's a lot of the old mill architecture they have preserved in town. They built the new bridge right next to the old one. This is the old Bridge of Flowers. They garden it. Looks like there's still some things in bloom, but they are not going to let us walk it today. Actually, that's fine with me because the best view of the Bridge of Flowers is not on the bridge itself, but on this new one parallel to it. Look at this Bridge Street Bazaar. It looks like a thrift shop. I think I'll check it out. A lot of cool stuff in here, a lot of cool designs, some cool Asian designs, this cool holographic picture. But I'm thinking about buying one of these boots. I've never seen anything like this. This has a little cleat, a little spike that you just pull out.
This is the only one.
I couldn't resist, and it's good to patronize a local business. New boots with little pull-out spikes. I didn't know they made those. I have those micro spikes, but they're a pain in the ass to take on and off. A lot of cool stuff on the street, little cool restaurant, but I'm gonna cross here, show you these glacial potholes. It's a busy little street, gotta be careful here for a small town. But down at the end of this little alley, they call them glacial potholes, although they have nothing to do with glaciers. That's referring to these little pits in the rock down there. They happen because a stone just gets trapped there and gets ground around on it for 1,000,000 years until it dissolves or dislodges, and all that's left behind is that little pit. It's dammed now, but this was originally a granite cascade called Salmon Falls, the site of an old Indian fishing treaty about 300 years ago. Still a beautiful place to frolic. Once you see those potholes down there, there's 1,000,000 of them. They're just everywhere in this particular spot. That dam looks like it still does something over there. There's a bunch of electrical gizmos attached to it. I don't know if it provides power or what it does. I'm gonna get back on the main street though. They're doing some midnight November 28th trolley ride here in town as part of some shindig. I don't know what it is. That's something I would totally do though. I'm gonna have to look that up later. Walking back to the van, I'm just totally fascinated by this house at the top of the hill. How did they even get that property? There's actually a cool fire tower on the ridge on the other side of the river. My original plan was try to get there and see the sunset from there. I'm not sure how much time I have left. Right here at the end of the bridge, the West End pub, they usually have like jazz every night and like cool stuff. A really cool place to grab a meal. I'm gonna try to make it to those high ledges up there. It looks like we're gonna be going right over the new trolley bridge. Well, the new iron girder, whatever. Built 1890, whatever this is. Very cool going over it like that. Up on that mountain ridge, right up ahead, like kind of in the center of the screen, you see a fire tower. That's where I want to get to tonight. I want to catch the sunset up there. That mountain is apparently called Little Tomahawk, and I forgot how much you had to drive up the ridge to get to the trailhead. I don't like pushing my 85,000 mile van this hard. It is a very beautiful drive up there, though, if you're into pushing your car a little bit hard. This is apparently called the Patton District, this sort of high plateau right here next to the Deerfield River. And as you would expect, some utterly magnificent estates up here. Oh my God, maybe this is where Bill Cosby lives. So it's called the High Ledges Trailhead. I'm getting here very late. I'm gonna whip a bag together and just chase the light. Hope to catch some sunset down there. I've got a few minutes. I'm on a trail I've never taken before. It's called the High Ledges Trail of Shelburne Falls. I normally take a turn back there and go to a fire tower. Not tonight. I want to see what these ledges are all about. There was a kiosk there with a pretty cool picture. The wood is completely open right here, except for a whole ton of mountain laurel. I guess that just stays green all winter. Oh yeah, up here there's the ruins of some kind of building. Some kind of building was here. There's a little fireplace, not a big foundation, but it looks over this gorgeous Deerfield River Valley right here. You can see the whole village of Shelburne Falls down there. The river kind of bends, does some oxbows, and in the far distance, there's some prominent ski mountain. I think it's a ski mountain. It might be Mount Greylock. I can't tell, but it's just huge on the horizon. I somehow lost my tripod again, my second tripod in like 1 week span. Those things are like $30 each. So I'm gonna try to do a time lapse here with whatever I can find. I guess I just have to like prop my camera up somewhere. I don't know, peaceful spot. I'm just gonna enjoy the light and shut up for a bit. We call that a slow fade, the opposite of a slow burn. It just descends with no color into darkness. Kind of disappointing, but enchanting in its own way. I want to get off this trail. I don't like being out on the trail after dark this late in the year. It gets cold fast. You hear that? That's a barn owl, I think. I'm not really sure though. They sure are spooky. They start closing in on you. I've had a few encounters with owls in my lifetime, and it's always traumatized me. They stare at you in the face like a person does, and they watch you as you walk on by. You feel like you're being watched by another person. It's just the creepiest thing. And they follow you around sometimes. They're like crows. They're like the brethren animal to crows. They hold a grudge. They recognize you. They follow your entire life. Drop pebbles on you during your commute every morning for like years and years. That's the train that runs past that trolley museum. It is still very much active. CSX freight lines go through it several times a day. The trains can be over a mile long. It's only 5, way too early for me to be eating dinner. I normally eat at like 10 or 11 p.m. But I don't know what to do in the spare time. I don't want to get to the Rotary too early. Or the Offramp, whatever the heck that thing is. I want to get there like pretty late, like 10 p.m.-ish, something like that. After most of the traffic is off the road. I think I might go back into Shelburne Falls and hit one of those pubs that are there. Maybe that one right next to the museum is open. We'll see. I just really hope I don't cook my brakes on the way down. I feel like the last time I did this in the Catskills, it did some damage to the rotor, like warped them or something. I've got to descend like 800 feet or 1,000 feet in the next mile and a half. This is so enchanting up here on this ridge. I'm enjoying every second of this ride down this mountain. There's a gas station here on the way down the mountain into Shelburne Falls. I realized I only have like half a gallon of water back there for tonight. I'd like to have at least a gallon. I eat a lot of salty food. I wake up thirsty in the night. I just picked up the 3 Ps, paper towels, pretzels, and water. So I'm fully stocked for tonight for later. Look at this beautiful view right here. That is Shelburne Falls down in the Deerfield Valley below. I'm heading down there. I put in the destination for that cool little restaurant next to the Trolley Museum. That should be fun. They don't open until 5, and it's 5:05. It feels so much later than it is. I'm gonna chill here, let the brakes cool, enjoy a little Green Mountain coffee for a few minutes. We are about to go back under that cool tunnel. Clearance 10'9". I am 9'6". Thank God, because I don't know what else I'd do right here. I am literally parking in the same exact spot I was earlier. So I'm going to be dining alone, something I have not done in years. I want to use the time productively, so I think I'll bring my laptop in, bring my portable battery bank in. You know, hopefully they don't mind if I start like editing right there on the table. I'll be ordering a full meal, all of that stuff, you know. Hopefully I can get into the saloon, whatever it's called, on this upper level and not have to walk down that ramp again. This is called the Blue Rock Restaurant and Bar. It's open for 3 more hours. That's great. I ain't gonna be drinking or anything, but I am actually super hungry. I've talked myself into it. I don't have any food. I need to do a meal prep. I'll have to do that in the next video. So I'm looking forward to having a cooked meal. You know, I eat like a cold meal pretty much every night, except for once a week with my meal prep. So it's nice to have a hot meal on a Saturday night. That's an art gallery, so I guess you do have to walk down to the lower level. So I don't know how the hell to get into the restaurant. I'm kind of going behind a guardrail, forging my own path right here. All right, we have some stairs. This is promising. Here we go. That place is absolutely happening. I underrated it. They can't sit me until 7, which is an hour and a half from now. I put my name down for a table anyway. I have nothing else to do. I think I'll wander the city for a bit. I walked back up this ramp. By the way, when this train, the trolley was operating, they had a pusher car that pushed the cars up and down this incline. They didn't use a cog. I misspoke earlier. Just don't want the train nerds to be jumping in the comments there. Yeah, I'm gonna go down for a bit. Maybe there's a coffee shop or something I can chill at. Hi, I had a reservation for 7 from Matt. Check this out. They gave me a seat right at the bar, right at the corner the way I like it. I even have a wall outlet here. Yeah, this is a very cozy spot. Very cute. Small on the inside, but clearly quite popular. I had my little workstation set up in there. So cozy, and they were playing a double feature of Charlie Brown Christmas stuff. I had a great time. I edited the first 3 minutes of this video, which took about an hour and 15 minutes. That's how long it takes. Now I just gotta get back to my car. Looks like it is raining tonight. I guess I can get out here. Yeah, look at this. I have to get through this crap. Holy frick. Yeah, that's not cool. Look at this. Look at this. This is torrential. This rain is actually the best thing I could have asked for tonight's adventure. Sleeping in this little off-ramp. Because any cop who gets out and tries to wake me up knocking on my window, which might take a while. He's gonna have to stand out there in this rain. I'm hoping they don't want to do that. I'm gonna be rolling in there around 9. There's just nowhere else to go. That's about an hour earlier than I normally like to roll into places. But fingers crossed. You know, I don't like getting a knock in the night. I don't like having my beauty sleep interrupted. But that's you gotta take the risk sometimes, you know? Oh look, there's a van right there. It looks like a camper van. I could probably get away with staying the night here. It seems like kind of a sleepy town tonight. But that off-ramp is only about 5 minutes away. So here goes nothing. First step is getting into there. There is so dark and rainy and the road a little bit precarious right here. And I'm not sure how well I can see that thing. Alright, there's a car coming right here. Yeah, I can't even see the road leading into it. You see how hard this is? I think it should be like right. Where is it? Yeah. I might have to do a few passes here. Oh wait, here we go. This is it. Right here. Can I turn in this way? Yeah, that is tight. Little difficult even seeing the entrance to this place. The rain is pretty heavy right now. I'm thankful for that. I think I'm just gonna jump in the back and camp out, you know, go to bed as early as I can. It's not even 9 yet. My MO towards stealth camping, and by stealth camping I mean parking in a place that's not meant for overnight parking. It's impossible to turn a van literally invisible. You just want to be seen as little often as possible. So for me, I like to arrive late, leave early. I'm arriving way early. I mean, it's winter, so it's dark outside, so it feels later than it is, but it's only 9:03 p.m. Aside from that, right up the highway here is a state troopers barracks. So they do come around and, you know, do this interchange during the night. I know they patrol it. I've seen them. I've driven this road at night, and I've seen them at like 3 or 4 in the morning doing God knows what. Also, a state trooper actually drove by just as I was pulling in. He saw me signaling to pull in, so the cat's out of the bag. I am sleeping here tonight. I can't go to bed this early though, so I'm gonna edit on my laptop for a few hours until I feel tired and just keep my wits together. I'll take a peek outside from time to time, but right now I'm having a blast. I had a great dinner, a little bit expensive, but a delicious dinner and day in Shelburne Falls. And do you hear that? That's the sound of rain hitting the roof. My favorite sound. If I can make it through tonight, there's an awesome coffee place down the road this way. Shelburne Falls Coffee Roasters. Coffee and bagels and internet, so I can wrap up this video. Assuming everything goes okay, I still have to make it through the night. I'm gonna call it a night right now. If anything happens, I will wake you guys up. But until then, fingers crossed. I'm finding all the street noise not like ocean waves, but more like a buzzsaw. They all kind of idle or switch gears as they're going around the circle, and it's just endless. I keep thinking the car's pulling up next to me. There's just, every time I take a peek outside, there's flashing lights from all directions. This is kind of aggravating. I think I'm gonna turn this light off and take another peek out front. Yeah, let's take another peek because I just keep hearing noises out here. There's like, yeah, I don't know. There's always ambient light coming from all directions. That's what I don't like about this. Do you all hear that? Apparently there's a train really close to here. Oh my god, it's right next to me. Look at this. I had no idea, but the train is only about 30 feet away from my van. I'm not sure how I didn't see that. Yeah, that's a little loud. A loud train and now a car going nuts. This is a lot noisier of a spot than I anticipated. It's 6:30. My alarm just went off. I made it throughout the night. Let's see what the scene is like outside. Yeah, nice out. Gloomy out. Still some traffic. Yeah, I had a lovely time here. No one bothered me. Lots of noise though, you gotta like that. I had the rain on the roof. I had the traffic circling me all night long. And those trains, they come by like every couple of hours and they're miles long. They take like 10 minutes to go through. So the Shelburne Falls Coffee Roasters is where I want to go for breakfast. It's just up the street a bit. It opens in about 10 minutes. I think I will end the video there because you guys got to see this place. It's an awesome little bagel shop. Tons of different flavors and stuff. If I'm going to be showcasing Shelburne Falls in this video, then I got to show that place. All right, let's get on the road. Last night's rain was a blessing. I think it kept people off the road in general. Less traffic than I was expecting. And this morning is just lovely. There's mist hanging off the mountains. It's 48 degrees. It kept the temperature up a little bit. So the coffee place is right up here on the right. Here we are. Comes up quickly. Shelburne Falls Coffee Roasters. Let's see what they got. Yeah, this place is awesome. Different variety of coffees, of bagels, of spreads. The only thing they don't have is Diet Coke. So I have to drink some seltzer water. Probably better for me. Shelburne Falls Coffee Roasters. I have a little operation here. I have an outlet. I have Wi-Fi. I have this space that's like a house. It's so cool. And a beautiful view. I'm gonna have a lovely time. It's probably gonna be like 5 hours to edit all this video. This was a ton of fun. Thanks for watching this adventure. Until next time, peace out.